Hello everyone, thank you for joining me here on BrainScratch Searchlight. This is a special update episode. I will include a link in the description box below for the original episode about Zuzu Verk. Just in case you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you check that out before you watch this update. In short, we have a young woman in Alpine, Texas. She has what seems like a troubled relationship with an on-again, off-again boyfriend. A very strange night occurs where a neighbor that lives below the boyfriend's apartment could swear that he hears them arguing up above, and then around 4 o'clock in the morning he hears a severe thump. We have the boyfriend doing some strange things at that point, reaching out to a friend of his, reaching out to his brother-in-law to borrow a truck, and then seemingly going quiet as soon as authorities come around and start asking questions. So we don't have quite a huge development in this case, but there are some pieces that are ongoing I want to keep you guys updated on. So let's jump in and look at the current news on this. First of all, just released literally as of the day I'm filming this on January 12th. It's a bit of an update piece. Really, there's no new information here, but you'll get the sentiment of it very quickly. It is so important we keep her story circulating, said Lori Verk, Zuzu's mom. She deserves dignity, respect, and justice. So the parents are doing their best to try to keep awareness raised to this. I know regularly, especially on Twitter, I am hit with a tweet every now and then about, hey John, tell us more about Zuzu, look into this, look into this. You guys are very active about keeping awareness raised to this case. Typically when I do updates like this, I'm just waiting for there to be enough information for me to pull together to make it more than just me reading off one headline to you or something like that. So, but there are a few more developments that have happened in this case. If we jump over to newswest9.com, grand jury for Verk case wraps up, parents hopeful for answers, and this is as of December 19th, 2016. The grand jury met for the second time. Zuzu's family gathered at the courthouse and hoped for answers from the sole suspect in the case, Zuzu's boyfriend, Robert Fabian, but got nothing. He kept to himself, didn't say a word to the cameras, and avoided eye contact with the family. Now, he was there with his attorney. One of these reporters tried to ask him, what happened to Zuzu, and the attorney basically replied with no comment. He has no comment. But we haven't seen any information about what might have been discussed during the actual grand jury, and I'm pretty certain that he would not be able to just sit there quietly. I think that he probably had to answer some questions, but from the comments we could see from the family here, they did not learn anything new. So even if he was forced to answer specific questions, he did not do so in a way that provided any new detail outside of what we already know, which is they were together that night, they were at his house, and she has since gone missing. What we do get from this article is a comment from Glenn Verk, her father, saying the police have assured us he knows a lot and may be responsible for a lot. And it also notes at the bottom that the grand jury might reconvene this month in January at some point. And of course, everyone is hoping for some kind of indictment, particularly against Robert Fabian. But now it looks like his friend Chris Estrada might be getting into the mix a little bit as well. Jumping over to sanangelolive.com, and this is basically a reposting of a story from CBS 7, but unfortunately their website was not working great for me today. Person of interest claims he's now a suspect in Zuzu Verk case, and here is a picture of Robert Fabian's friend Chris Estrada. CBS 7 had an exclusive interview with Chris Estrada. He disclosed to reporters that he believes he's no longer a person of interest, but rather a suspect. During the grand jury meeting, Estrada was brought into questioning before his longtime friend and sole suspect, Robert Fabian, Zuzu's on-again, off-again boyfriend. Confident that he has nothing to hide, Estrada waived his right to an attorney and chose to answer questions for over 3 hours, CBS 7 reported. After his questioning, Estrada soon learned that he's now a suspect in the disappearance of Zuzu Verk. Estrada explained that he was named a suspect in the case for concealing and tampering with evidence. Just being honest with all of you out there, I have to say, I want to shake this kid and say, duh. I mean, what did you expect? You're running around with a guy on the night that his girlfriend disappears, acting extremely odd, trying to get your car washed several times by another buddy of yours. And according to some of this information I've seen from Zuzu's family, even though Chris says that he's been open with the police and trying to answer their questions and everything, they're saying that there's no information coming out of him. Yes, he's being kind enough to try to answer these questions, but he's not giving them anything meaningful. I get a strong sense, and this is purely my opinion, but I get this very strong sense that Chris is covering for his friend. And sure, he can feign ignorance about what happened to Zuzu if in the context of his mind he's thinking about at the moment that she was killed, because his friend probably didn't call him into this until it was a cleanup job after that was done. As a matter of fact, let's take his own words here. The interviewers asked him, "Do you have any fear that you might be arrested?" And he responded, "I wouldn't say fear. If they do, I would be disappointed. You know, them wanting to blame me or not, I still don't know what happened to Zuzu." Now, I'm just saying, if you were going to lie to someone, phrasing it in that way might be very easy for you to mislead yourself into saying, well, I meant about what happened to her that got her killed. I mean, yeah, my friend showed up and we lugged this big heavy thing around. I really don't know what that thing was. And then we went and disposed of it somewhere. I really have no idea where or what it was. There's just something about the wording of this guy's comments that is really, really troubling me. Let's check out another quote from him here. "In the end, whether people want to believe me or not, we're all on the same team. And we have all been, not just us. A lot of people have been affected by this tragedy, and I'm not going to hide from it. I'd rather answer everyone's questions. I still have faith that there won't need to be any arrest, at least on my end." I don't know about you guys, but I'm sensing this weird kind of flip-flop that's happening in there. I am hoping at some point this guy wises up and decides that, hey, his buddy's trying to take him down with him. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even know until I had seen this article, but according to information here, several other family members of Robert Fabian's are also being considered persons of interest with the police. I'm sure his brother-in-law or whoever he borrowed the pickup truck from is on that list as well. This guy is seemingly taking down several people around him to try to keep this information, which might be what happened to Zuzu and where she is, safe. What type of friend is that? Not anyone that I would want to have in my list of friends. What type of family member of that is that? I think it's pretty lame. Outside of what type of citizen are we talking about here? Chris is saying, we're all on the same team. No, we're not. Someone is clearly not speaking, not helping. You know how many missing persons cases I've looked into, and there's actions where you can see this person was either a good friend or this person was a bad friend. They are helping with the investigation. They are running from the investigation. What we have here is clearly a man who is the last person to be known being with her that is not cooperating. And you're going to try to defend his position and put your own, not your life on the line, but maybe years of your life on the line. It really doesn't make sense to me. If there are friends of Chris's out there, you guys need to be good friends to this guy and wake him up. Why is he trying to protect this guy? I have no idea, but it's not good. Whatever he knows about that night, wherever he took Robert, wherever they went to, whatever they did, he needs to be extremely honest about all that. Now, it's possible he might be. I have not read the grand jury transcripts, obviously. He was interviewed there for 3 hours. He did it without an attorney. That is either a bit gutsy or extremely stupid. We don't know because we don't know what type of information came out through that. But being interviewed for 3 hours sounds pretty intensive to me. And from what I understand about how these grand jury things go, that could be a pretty tough 3 hours to get through. It's very simple. There's simple logic here. Your friend was with her on the night she disappeared. She disappeared. Then you showed up. You hung out with that friend for a couple hours. We don't know what you guys did. We don't know where you went. We just know that all of a sudden you were concerned about cleaning your car. He went and borrowed a truck from a family member. This is all extremely odd. Should you be prosecuted as an accessory to whatever happened to Zuzu? Yes, absolutely. Forward and backward. I don't see how you couldn't be, unless you were openly cooperating with authorities right from the get-go, maybe trying to help in the search for her with her family, which we're definitely not getting that message from her family as well. This guy is in a very, very tough situation, and I do not think the heat is going to lessen up on him until he does the right thing and provides any and all information that he has about what was going on with Robert that night. It's really that simple. And yeah, sure, maybe he's afraid of being seen as a rat or a snitch or something like that. At some point, you have to look at this case for yourself. You have to look at this as a citizen of that area. You have to look at this as just a person. Would you want this? Would you want your sister to disappear in this way and then know that there was a little group of people that were keeping secrets so that you would never know the truth of what happened to her? Really, really tough, man. So that is it, at least for the news at this point on this case. This is another one of those cases that just really has me a bit wound up. Obviously, you probably saw it towards the end of the video here. It breaks my heart that there are people out there that would rather protect their own interests and literally wreck the lives of their so-called friends and family members by not doing the right thing and fessing up to something that they did. And it seems like there is a very, very, very strong chance that that is what's going on here. I can't think of another case where you've had someone act quite in this manner and they have not turned out to be the culprit. I can think of several cases where people have been accused and they will openly lash out. They will do very strange things. I can think of cases where, yeah, sometimes the boyfriend didn't help the family search for the missing girlfriend, but he wouldn't avoid the press and not take any comment. But like this, where, lawyered up, doesn't speak to anyone, can't look the family in the eye when he's in the room with them. It's really, really tough. This is just a tough, tough case, and I'm sure the family is a mess over it. And we're still so early into this. She's only been missing for a matter of months. Something like this can go on for years. And I just hope that the people sitting on that grand jury help expedite this in some way. Do whatever you guys can do to help the truth come out in this case, because this family is hurting, and they might be hurting a little bit more with this process that they're now going through of not just focusing on a missing persons, on trying to find where Zuzu is and trying to take all those steps and keep awareness raised and keep talking to the press and putting up posters and going on searches, but now they have these legal proceedings and this intent focus on Robert. And think about this. Let's flip this thought for a second. What if he has nothing to do with it? What if he is just totally protecting his own interests, but he didn't do anything to Zuzu? He is now taking up resources from the investigators. I mean, he's got all the focus on him. If he truly is innocent in this matter, it would be much better for him to speak up and let everyone know where he was, let them take that information, see if they could verify it, and then change their focus. Because quite honestly, him having this much focus could be stalling this case if he truly is not the culprit. Which, once again, if you look at this both ways, I think many of us are saying, yeah, but John, we know that he's the one that did it. I would like to say I know for certain. I can tell you his activity is extremely strange. The information around what he was doing that night is extremely strange. What his downstairs neighbor heard is strange. What his friends did were strange. What his family did is strange. There is something at work here. Does it necessarily mean that it is him taking Zuzu's body somewhere or something along those lines? I don't know for sure. I mean, it could be something completely unrelated that is also illegal that he's afraid will come out. But even if that was the case, I would think just as a man, you would stand up and say, hey, look, You guys have all this focus on me. It's taken focus away from the true culprit here. Look, I was doing a drug deal. I was whatever the stupid thing is. It probably would severely lack in comparison of where everyone's heart and focus truly is, and that is where's Zuzu? Where is she? Well, thank you guys for sitting through that. I know it was a bit different than usual. It's not frequent. I just talked about this on Johnny Vlogs a couple days ago. It's not that often that I kind of let my emotions ride, but I feel like it was appropriate in this one. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me. I will, of course, keep you updated. Hopefully the grand jury reconvenes or they make some moves to shake this case up a little bit. Maybe we get some other information from somewhere else. I don't know. But whatever happens, check out Lord Narts and I will keep you in the loop. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next show on the Lord Narts channel.